Hello and welcome to the Shooter Unity game development course. Now we just created two methods that we will use in our update. So let's jump into our shoot method before we go into our bad guys method. So as this says in our description, it will check the list of the shots for an inactive shot. Then it will activate and shoot it. Otherwise, it will make a new shot and shoot it. And this is on left mouse click. So we want to say, first we need to check for null. So if shots doesn't equal null, then, which it should never be null, so I guess you could remove it if you want, but I like to be safe. Then we want to create a for each. So for each transform shot in shots, we will check if not shot dot game object dot active in hierarchy. So if the shot is not active, here let's say look through all shots, make sure, is it SH? I don't know, sure that nothing is null. Okay, so now we've got some little comments to tell us what stuff is going on. So first we want to move shot to barrel end, rotate and activate. So let's get shot dot game object dot set active is true. This is our activate. So let's say activate. Then we want to say shot dot local rotation equals quaternion dot Euler dot quaternion Euler 0 rotation 0 semicolon, and this is our rotate. Then we also want to move to barrel end. So for this we actually want to get the child, which you will see later. Shot dot get child at 0, because there should only be one child. Dot, oh my, that's a slash. Dot local position, which we'll set to vector 3.0. And finally we will return. So pretty much stop looking, do not create one. Okay, now we want to go to the very bottom, so we should be outside of if shots doesn't equal null, and we want to say a shot was not found, create one. So let's actually go down a bit and we'll say void create shot, and here we will say create shot, so it calls the method. Now inside of our create shot method we are pretty much doing exactly what that sounds like. So let's make a transform shot equals instantiate our shot prefab, and then we want to set the position. So shot dot position equals our barrel end dot position, so it puts it at the barrel end. And then we say shot.local rotation equals quaternion dot Euler at 0, comma rotation, comma 0. And finally, shots dot add shot. And oh no, we didn't label any of this stuff. So the method that creates shots. So let's say transform shot, the created shot, move into position, rotate, add to shots. And that's pretty much what shoot does, and it looks like we have enough time to go into our check bad guys. So the check bad guys will do much the same thing as what our shot does. So we'll go in and describe it now. Okay, so if we need to make a new bad guy, look through the bad guys list for an inactive bad guy. If found, activate and move, activate, move, and randomize variables. Let's add some commas here. Okay, now if we didn't find a bad guy, then we say else create a new bad guy. That wasn't too bad. So let's start going to making new bad guys. So first we say if the bad guys dot count is less than the maximum number of bad guys, then so we say if we need more bad guys, and we will say create a bad guy. Now to create a bad guy, we want to do this. It will look very similar to our shot one. So we'll say, I actually want to make a method of this just so it's easier to edit. So I'll say void create bad guy, and here I'll say create bad guy. And then in the void create bad guy, I will say the transform bad guy equals instantiate the bad guy prefab dot transform. Then I will say bad guys dot add bad guy, and then I want to, so let's say create a new bad guy, add to the list. This is create a new bad guy. Then we want to move into place and set variables, which to do this we actually need another one. So let's say void assign bad guy, which we'll get to later. So let's say assign bad guy. There we go. And that's what our create bad guy does. Now, after we have checked if we want to create bad guys, we want to see if we should turn on more bad guys. So, see if we should turn on a destroyed bad guy. Let's say defeated. Sounds friendlier for the kids. So I will say for int I equals 0. Yes, just a basic if or for statement. If I is less than our bad guys dot count I plus plus, and this is because we now want to say if I is greater than our max bad guys, then break. So this is used to protect us on game reset. Pretty much without that, it would create like 10 bad guys after you start a new game, which wouldn't be good. So now we want to see if we can find an inactive bad guy. So we say if not bad guys at I dot game object dot active in hierarchy. So if it is not active, then we'll say that the bad guys at I dot game object dot set active is true. Then we'll say assign. Oh my, did I forget to do that? I am terribly sorry. In our assign bad guy, we want to assign a transform bad guy, which means in our create we need to send our bad guy. So make sure that you go into the create bad guy and set that, although it should show you a simple error otherwise. Okay, so we say assign bad guy, which we'll set as bad guys at I. Oh no, bad guys at I. Okay, so let's label these. So turn on the bad guy, set his variables, and that's our for loop. Looks like this is going to be another 15 or so minute video. So let's go into our assign bad guy, which is our last part for our bad guy, and we want a few floats. So we'll work on this later, but for now let's give it some descriptions. So moves the, let's make it a multi-line. Okay, so moves the bad guy to a random x and z location with a random speed. And that's pretty much it. So for now, we'll stop here. We'll finish the bad guy later and actually work on creating our bad guy script a bit too. So thank you very much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.